Welcome to Win with lifestyle entrepreneurs Josh Williams and Justin Knoll. Each week, we will be bringing you inspiring people or messages to help you win in every aspect of life.
We're trying that again.
There it is. You get that on there? You good?
Here we go.
Got it on there?
Here we go. Happy Friday, y'all. Happy
What's up?
Snowy Friday.
I know.
Snowy. This is good stuff.
Hey, I'm going up snowboarding next week, so I know the mountains are getting crushed right now, so this is good. You're going up this weekend,
as soon as
so
we're
that's
done
even
with this,
better
I'm
for
out
you.
of here.
We have one of my favorite people in the world, in the industry, just a great guy overall. Mike Reff is joining us today. We're going to hear about Mike's story, where he came from, how he got to this place, what he does in the market, but just a lot of fun stuff. But he literally is like, can we get this going? Because I am going to the mountains to snowboard with my buddies.
If we're a little early, like 12 minutes, it's all good. Mike's got like what do you got, a 5-hour drive? What is that?
Maybe 8.
Oh, maybe 8.
We'll see
Maybe
how the
8.
night goes. I don't know.
See how this
Could
goes.
be 10. May never make it.
Right.
Right.
You know, there's going to be a lot of mountains on the way that you can just jump out
That's
and
what I'm
hit,
thinking.
right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
we'll find a way to make it work.
We'll see.
I met Mike about, 45 minutes ago?
I was going to say 12, but
Yeah, we'll go 12 minutes. Yeah. But I will tell you that, I mean, you just seem like one of those guys where we can just kind of like gel with. You're down to earth. And then yet you run a company that's ridiculously cool, and you do some great stuff with people in our industry and just all around. So your background is really cool. I'm super excited to see what we got going today.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had some conversations
to
about
be,
balding and all kinds of stuff already. So
Hair
let's
care.
get it. That's a hair care.
less about balding, more about hair care.
That's right. That's right. Damn it.
Yeah. I got nice. Look at this thick hair.
That
Look
is
at that.
nice.
I
I just want to say for the record, my wife says that I'm balding, but I don't know if you guys can see. From
Well,
all
if she's
different angles.
watching, this is
pretty
what
good,
balding
yeah.
looks like. That doesn't. All right. So, yeah.
That looks,
you're
like,
good.
that
He's
looks
good.
more
Good.
like post-bald than bald.
That could be post-bald.
You're balded.
I could grow the
That's
cul-de-sac or the horseshoe back, and then we'll see. Then we'll see what's up.
Yeah.
Give me a month.
Would you do that for me,
verb.
please? I would pay money to see the cul-de-sac come in.
When we make all of our money doing a podcast, that'll happen.
All right, y'all. So
That's
you gotta get on this audience so we can get
That's
some
right.
money going.
Josh,
so we can get Josh
grows
the
the horseshoe.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
So, all right, I want to get into you, Mike, and see what the heck you're up to, how you got to this place. But can you share with us your story, how this all happened, how you ended up in this room with us talking about nonsense?
Yeah, well, I just drove over here and walked
Nice.
upstairs,
Perfect.
and that's how I got here.
All right. Take care, guys.
But,
Good to see you.
yeah.
Have a good week.
Some
No.
steep stairs. I'm surprised you're still
Oh,
talking.
man, I got to say, every time I come to this office, I'm like, I'm going to take the stairs. I get up here, I'm super winded.
Right, yeah.
People always like start talking to me right away, but I got to catch my breath a little bit. so
Exactly.
I always have to kind of
Exactly.
push people away when I first get here and say, hold on, let me catch my breath
That's
a
why
little
you
bit.
stop in the landing
Yeah, and,
before
like,
you
gotta
come
breathe
into
for
the
a little bit, get
yes.
some water,
Yeah,
and then
you
come
gotta
in.
stop.
So, yeah, that's
So-
cool.
No, but for real, like how do you? So you're in a media space now,
Yep.
and you started out doing all kinds of stuff. So I'd love to kind of rewind on your
Yeah.
history of life and how you got into real estate, and then where it led now.
Yeah, totally. So I was born in suburb. I was born in Washington D.C. and grew up in the suburb of D.C. and East Coast, and grew up there. My family, we were fortunate enough we would come out to Colorado and go skiing once in a while. And I really liked that. That was awesome. It was definitely a big impact in my life. And then in high school, I knew that I didn't really want to go to college or anything. I wanted to be a ski bum. I wanted to be a skier. And so I moved to Steamboat Springs after I graduated high school.
Pretty good place to ski.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was a good place. I learned how to ski POW there, and it was awesome. Made some really good friends. And at that time, another thing too, talking about media, I was always riding bikes. We rode BMX growing up, and we were always making videos. And at the time, even in high school, me and some buddies, we did like a senior project, and it was a BMX video. And it was
That's
actually,
money.
yeah,
That's
it was,
so good.
It was really funny because we had a period every day where we would leave school to make videos.
Right.
And pretty much just meant like riding the metro or riding around doing like hooligan stuff
So
and
awesome.
riding bikes. And the most like produced part of the video that we did was we reenacted the scene from Office Space where they smash the fax machine. They take it out to a field and they play It's a Ghetto Boys song.
Yes.
And they all have baseball bats and they beat this thing up pretty bad.
Love
and we
it.
did that.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster.
Yeah, actually, it wasn't that song,
wasn't?
but
Oh.
it's another song that's also pretty vulgar or inappropriate maybe for
We'll play it later.
young children today.
It'll
But
come on later. It's good.
We had to present that to our school, and it was pretty funny because we didn't know what was going to happen when we played that, and it actually worked out okay.
So the reaction was pretty positive?
It was kind of like we had one teacher that was our sponsor that was supposed to like approve everything, but we didn't show it to him until the presentation, and he was kind of like,
Yes.
"I can't believe you guys did this."
Oh, my God.
But yeah, that's how I kind of got involved in the video stuff, and then yeah, Steamboat. We kept making bike videos, just having fun with that. And then I moved to Salt Lake, and I went to school at the University of Utah, and I got a job for a production company after school that did ski and snowboard competitions.
Right.
And we did all the they were international competitions, really big, and I managed the live broadcast, and I was doing some actual camera work, and we were managing the website. So I kind of really, that was a very intense workplace where we
Yeah.
were traveling all the time, and it
But
was
so freaking cool. I mean,
so
growing
freaking
up, like,
cool. Yeah, it was insane.
being in that snowboard industry for a long time, like,
Oh, it was
dude,
crazy.
we just look up to guys like you. Like, dude,
Yeah, it was
I know
insane.
I can't snowboard great to be on TV, but maybe I could do that.
I could work with them.
Right.
And honestly, like I met not all the people, but I met a lot of people that I had posters on my wall.
Yeah,
and I
that's
got to like,
awesome.
hang out with them, and it was a really cool experience, and it was a very intense experience. Learned a lot super fast,
Yeah.
super cool. Met my wife there, and
Hi, Estelle.
yeah, hi Estelle, we love you. And then what happened after that? Let's see. After that, this is where it gets kind of interesting,
Yeah.
sort of. Moved around a couple places. I actually got a job. I was the international sales and marketing manager for a resort in South America, for a ski resort in Chile. So I moved there, and I was living in Chile.
Didn't even
working
know there
there.
were ski resorts in Chile.
Yeah,
I'm
in the
thinking
Andes.
surfing or something.
It's cool because it's our summer.
Oh, yeah.
So we go down there. So we would coordinate like brands come down and do catalog shoots and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
It was awesome. That was like another crazy experience. I had to wear a suit every day to work in a giant city in South America, and I was meeting with like Delta executives and all these people, and my Spanish is terrible, like terrible. And my boss was like, "Oh yeah, you'll be good." And we'd go in these meetings like huge office buildings and
Right.
sitting in a boardroom with all these like Chilean executives. And they're like, "Oh yeah, we brought this American. Like he's from America," and that was kind of like a negotiating piece. Like we have an American, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it always put me in like these weird, awkward situations, and they would have to like whisper to me like about what they said and stuff like that.
I mean, the fact that you look like you're about 22, was that like last year? When did that
no,
happen?
that was almost. I don't even know what year it is anymore. That was 2010.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Just graduated.
Yeah, I graduated college. I graduated high school in 2003.
So
Youngin.
Yeah, I'm a youngin. So staying young. And then, my wife is Canadian. We went back to Canada for a little bit, and then moved to Denver because I said, "Hey, I got some buddies from Steamboat that now
Right.
live in Denver. There's cool shit going on there."
Always.
We moved to Denver. We bought a condo. Had a terrible experience with a realtor. If you are that realtor and you're watching this, I haven't heard from you in forever, but thank you for inspiring all this. So I got my real estate license. I was like, I want to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
That was so bad. I know I can do that.
That was exactly my thought. And I've met other people that have said the same thing, but I was like, that was such a bad experience, and I see how much money that person's making. I'm going to do that. Like, that's
Right.
easy.
Right.
And then got my license, took the course, did the whole thing, got my license, and I was trying to figure out what brand I wanted to join. They tell you, like, oh, you get all excited, you're marching, you got your license.
Right.
Well, who am I going to join? So I
Right.
started interviewing everyone. And I went to a big blue company. I went to small companies. I went to the big blue company, and then I came to this company. And I met this guy, Justin, and he was like, "Oh yeah, you don't want to go to Big Blue? Let's talk about going somewhere else where we're gonna make some cool stuff happen, and you should come
Yeah.
work with me." Sorry if that was inappropriate, but
fantastic.
yeah,
It's real.
And,
Keep it real here.
Yeah, we're keeping it real. Love Big Blue though, by the way. And so I joined the Knoll team as
Yeah.
a buyer's agent, and I did a couple deals. They were terrible, and I hated being a realtor. Justin said I was one of the worst agents ever, and
There is
that-
something to be
that,
said
that
to
was
that,
honestly
though,
how
right?
that started.
Yeah.
That's like the long, just a whoop. That was the cliff notes of how
Yeah.
everything happened. But what was happening was cool is we started coming here and I started going to all these classes when you first get your license, it's all about the continuing education. You don't have any business.
Right.
So all you do is you learn. Right. You're just going to these classes. This guy's got a class, this guy's got a class. And every class was, you got to do social media and video. You need video. They would just say this word, video. And I'm like, cool. That's my background. I was doing video. And they kept saying video, but nobody knew how to do video or social media. But these people who have no business or experience teaching this stuff are telling all these agents that's what they got to do.
Yeah, I teach it weekly, and I appreciate you calling me out like that.
Yeah.
No, I'm just playing.
But it's true. I mean, there's a lot of people,
Right.
and they say they're experts in all this stuff. And I always ask the question, if you're such an expert in this stuff, why aren't you doing that? Why are you just teaching people?
Right.
So we started doing some stuff together.
Yeah, the Knoll team started doing just all kinds of crazy video stuff, just tried stuff.
Yeah, we were just having fun with it, trying new stuff. And we did one video that we emailed out I just reached out to someone at NAR in Chicago, and I said, hey, check out this video. I think you guys will like it. And they're like, this is awesome. Are you okay if we send it out to like 5 million people? Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
And then I said, let me think about it. Okay. And then, next thing led to the next, and other people here were like, hey, can you help me? Can you help me? And that's when me and Justin had a talk, and I said, you know what? I don't think this realtor thing is for me.
Right.
I'll let you guys deal with it. I will say, actually, the one deal that I did was actually, when I look back, was quite entertaining because I was handed a lead of people that did not speak a word of English. They spoke only Nepali, and I will tell you, my Nepali is very terrible. And everything was translated through an 8-year-old, which caused a couple miscommunications.
Yeah,
you know what I
man.
mean? And it was a challenging deal. So
The funny thing is, I just closed a loan like that last month, and now they're referring their Nepali friends to me, and we still have their 12-year-old son coming in to do all the
Yeah.
love the
translation.
Nepali people.
Yeah,
Respect
great
Nepali
culture,
pride,
love them, but yeah, very difficult language.
Namaste. That's the only Nepali word I know. It means hello.
That's it.
So after every talk, it was just namaste.
Yeah.
That's
Okay,
right.
everything's
Oh,
okay.
everything's all good.
Namaste.
So I remember that moment in time when we decided to go down this road and how nerve-wracking it was to talk about video and us being, in front of the camera and what the hell are we going to say and what if nobody cares and what if everybody looks at us and judges us and what if the camera adds 40 pounds, which it does. All these things just wrapped around my head and it was almost paralyzing. I remember before we started shooting, it was like, all right, this is it. Like, this is the last chance. Because I knew once we cracked that camera open and went for it, we were going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
And there was no turning back. It wasn't do this once and see what happens. And I remember that the nerves. But one thing I really appreciate always about what you do is you understand that emotion, right? You know how terrifying it can be for a lot of people. And so what I always love about the way you do is you just talk. And you're it's just enter into a conversation. The camera happens to be on. You put so many people at ease, and it became this peaceful thing. And at that point, it was like, we can do this, and this is going to be a big part of what we do. And it was your comfort, in comforting us, that got us.
You want to hug?
I'm gonna hug that out. Is that something you say? So, like, I had a coffee this morning with a guy, and I said, "Hey, we'd love to, at some point get you on either the podcast, Passing Positive, whatever." And he's like, "Man, you turn that light on, and I freeze."
Yeah.
Right? And so, is that something that you studied and got really good at?
Yeah, so
knowing how to
that's
do
a
that?
super common thing. And actually, I learned that working in the ski industry, we did a lot of interviews. Like, that was a big thing. We would sit down with athletes and do interviews. And, people, and especially now in this business, I would say 90% of the people we work with are not professionals by any means.
Right.
Well, I would say professional actors.
Yeah.
They're professional
Right.
at something,
Yeah.
but they're not professional actors. And so, people need to learn how to speak to a camera. And as soon as people get awkward and uncomfortable, it gets weird and stiff.
Yeah.
And I think it's important, especially when you're doing business videos, to know people aren't hiring you because of your acting abilities. You know,
Yeah.
they're hiring you because you're good at whatever it is you do, not because you're an actor.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And
so,
if-
so it kind of pays off to be real, authentic in those videos.
Oh yeah, that's like my number one thing that I pitch to people when we do business videos or any kind of videos. It's like, it's got to be authentic.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to hire the guy who's just sitting there reading a script, like, and you see his eyes going back and forth off a teleprompter. And there's so many sales videos that do that.
So many.
As soon as we see, and no offense to a lot of people that are doing this, I know there's a lot of mortgage companies and real estate companies that do this, but as soon as you see a green screen behind you and then they start reading something off it, I'm out.
Yeah, I don't even pay
I can't
attention.
handle that. I don't like
Right.
it. I think it's
not real, man.
It's not authentic. It's
Right.
it's actually the epitome of not real, because the green screen where you can change and
Yeah.
like hide the color
Right.
of green behind you.
Yeah.
You know, and people say all the time, "Oh, we got a green screen. You want to work with us?"
Well, and you know, a lot of people do
no,
the same
yeah.
thing with that stuff.
Yeah.
Is even if they're not reading from it, they memorize the script,
Yeah.
and they're still scripted, right?
Yeah.
So it's not that like, hey, this is how it rolls. You know, this is Josh Williams up in the house. What's up, y'all? See
Right.
how good that was?
Yeah, that was awesome.
That
I
was
love
money
that.
right there,
I
right?
love
It's
that.
none of that stuff right there. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that's awesome, man.
Yeah.
And I love that you point that out. You actually identify that and say,
yeah.
hey, you're paying me some money to do a video. We're gonna do it great, right?
Yep.
Yeah, we're
Justin
gonna do it
always
awesome.
says one thing, and he always that I love, and he says, look, if you're gonna do something, be great at it, right? If you're gonna do that one thing, be great at it. Know what you're great at, and don't do the other things. Bring
Yep.
other people in to help you with that. We try to do a lot of videos. I am not great at videos. I have fun with it, man. I
And
do
that's
them all
all
the
that
time,
matters.
right? But if I want to do a professional one, that's not me. That's not my.
Right.
It's not
It's
my
not your
lane.
expertise.
I'm going to bring you in to do something like that.
Yeah.
Because you've studied it. You're good at it.
And I think, you know, as you were mentioning, it's super important. Like, we try and get people to relax. We have a small production. It can be intense when lights come on and people are staring at you and they're like, all right, say that again, say that again, say that again. Like, no, you did that wrong. You know, you got to make people feel comfortable and,
Right.
and feel relaxed so they can be authentic. Because at the end of the day, if someone does a video and they hate the way they look, there's one person they get mad at, and it's the person who made the video.
Right.
And we want people to be proud of the content and stuff that we produce, and we want them to use it and not be like,
that's
oh,
so
I hate
true.
that. Like, I don't want to use it. And then it's frustrating for us because,
Yeah.
you know, they paid for something and they don't like it because of the way they look. So we're always very careful about making sure that the people look as good as they possibly can on camera. And that's everything from, hey, your hair looks messed up, or you're looking a little sweaty up there, or, you know, your collar's not doing good. And some people get offended.
Just have to give me a freaking towel when I bust mine. I'd be like, Josh, throw a
Blotter
towel
pads.
in, hook that up, shine that up a little bit. Good. All right, go.
Yeah, blotter pads.
Well, and you know, one thing you mentioned before is that a lot of people don't realize how important that piece is, and so they'll tell you like the day of, oh, I didn't get my hair done.
Yeah.
I'm not prepared. Like, this is something you do have to prepare for.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you definitely got to prepare for it. But at the same time, I always tell people that you should present yourself the way you would when you meet
Love it.
someone in person. You know,
Yeah,
so
love that.
Like, if you're someone on camera who is all like, every time you meet someone, you're casual, like you and I, and you're just wearing flannel, and that's how you meet clients. And then on your video, you're wearing like some super nice designer suit.
Right.
And then they meet you and they're like, "What's this guy?" Like, I want the guy with the suit. You know, or vice versa.
Yeah.
You know, you want to be authentic
Yeah.
and wear
That's
however
who
it
you
was
are.
that you would wear someone.
So
You know what I'm saying?
we know video is a huge piece of this game. I mean, and it's changing everything. And I've heard statistics that 85% of communications in the next 10 to 15 years are going to be through video alone. So we all know that we need to adapt to it. We know that it's something that there's just really not going to be an option anymore. But there's more to it than just the video stuff. And I love that you bring the social media piece to it. You work the two in conjunction with each other. Like, there's a marriage between the two and how they can function so well together. What have you seen with that, the combination, and what can you tell us about where this is all heading and all that stuff, the combination of both video and social media? Is there anything on the horizon that we have no idea that's coming? Is there anything that you're
I can't
like?
tell you that.
You say, yeah, exactly.
I was
Well, you
sworn to
told me about
secrecy.
Bitcoin how long ago?
Probably 5 years.
5 years ago, and
You
I was
could've
like,
made
"Yep,
a lot of
write
money.
Mike a check for
Even
Bitcoin."
to all those people right now are saying that was a bad investment, it still would have been a great investment right
Absolutely,
now.
it would have. No matter what the cost is today. I mean,
Yeah.
it's still, the prices today is still a great investment. But
Yeah.
is there anything that you see coming up? Is there any, it doesn't have to be like this secret thing, but is there anything you're like, boy, if you're getting into video, you also need to do this as well?
If you're getting into video now, I mean, that's a broad thing. Like, as you said, it's getting more popular because people are getting stupider and want to read less and less, right? And we're multitasking more and more.
It's true.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong
Why are
with
you
it.
talking about me, Mike?
Yeah.
What's up?
And like video is something, like right now there's screens everywhere, right? Like literally in this room, you know, I can
Yeah.
see 5 screens going on,
Right,
and I'm
yeah.
absorbing the stuff from all these, and we're having a conversation.
Right, yeah.
If I was trying to read an email, I would just be locked in on that and not be
100%, yeah.
like be able to absorb all the rest of the stuff.
Right.
So I think we're going to see, your Facebook feeds and all this kind of stuff is going to be just more video content. And as I mentioned, with social media, what I think is really going to start happening is it's going to be more of a starting jump-off point to the rest of the internet. So people are spending less consistent time on social media, and they're using it as a place to find news, find content, find videos.
Yeah.
But I think, if we're talking just like big picture, like technology stuff, I think the artificial intelligence is going to be the biggest thing that we will be seeing changes in our life.
Tell us more. What does that look like? What does that mean?
Could mean a lot of different things.
Well, sure.
Yeah, and I'm by no means an expert or anything on this.
Sure.
I would recommend, I did read a book, or you can listen to it, Life 3.0, and it's really cool, and it's all about different scenarios of how artificial intelligence will play out in our potential near future.
Yeah.
And I think that is going to be a big impact. It could change so many different things. And one of the most interesting takeaways I pulled from that book is they talk about, and people always say, oh, that's wrong, you bullshit what you're saying, but that in the past 100 years is actually the least amount of innovation that human civilization has ever seen.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah.
And that's because basically, we've been really just refining certain things. Like, we've had telephones now for 100 years, or more than that. And we've just refined the telephone. Like we look at an iPhone. The iPhone came out, I don't know, what was it, like 15 years ago? Yeah. Every phone is the same design. Like, there's no change in that.
Yeah.
And internet, like when we first invented the phone and they invented the telegram, that was huge. Because before, you would send a letter, you wouldn't see someone for months. And then the phone changed all that. And now we've just like revised technology to improve phone communication.
Yeah.
The internet and all this stuff, accessing information. But there hasn't been a whole lot that's really impacted our everyday life so dramatically in terms of like, a telephone or fire or wheels or like simple things like that, which we take for granted. Yeah. And the thought is that artificial intelligence, and we're going off on a totally different tangent. Could potentially be the next really large evolution. And the thought is that, one scenario is that artificial intelligence will take care of a lot of the things that we are required to do, where we spend so much time working to make money, to be able to pay for our basic existence, our food, our shelter, quality of life, all this stuff, is that if governments come together and create artificial intelligence in a proper way, that it would solve those problems and that people wouldn't have to work to pay rent, to pay mortgages, mortgage lenders, and all this stuff, and that we would be able just to be creative, be artists, and focus on innovation.
Right.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, though, to focus on the innovation piece of it, man. I mean, ever since I started doing video, I just loved it, man. I love it, man, right? Yeah. So it's like, okay, what's next? What's the next step, So, I mean, it's cool that you can, if there's ways to focus where you can do things that you truly enjoy and monetize it.
That's the win-win.
That's it there, right?
But we're always thinking about what can we do to monetize things versus what can we just do for fun. Like when we were having this conversation before we started this today, it was, is this something that is really fun or is it something that's, for money? And it's for fun.
Yeah.
We're having fun with it. And you think about like during the Dark Ages and like the Renaissance period, people literally, they weren't working so hard for stuff. They were sitting around and just thinking like, is the sun the center of the universe? I don't know, and they would come up with stuff like that. They would paint, they'd write music and stuff like that. So
yeah, I love that, man.
Interesting, right? Makes
kind of nervous. Think. Oh my God, when is this going to happen? Is this in our lifetime?
Yeah, I don't know. And that's the thing. It could be our lifetime, it could be later.
So you spend a lot of time in the real estate space. Yeah. You do work with a lot of realtors, a lot of lenders, people in the industry. And you and I have had these conversations about how far behind the industry really is when it comes to this kind of this kind of deal. What do you see out there that, why we're behind and what people can do to not be so far behind?
I have to be sort of diplomatic.
He's on video.
No, it's not.
Don't be diplomatic. Like, be real. Like, just hit it.
I mean, okay. I have this conversation a lot with people. The biggest thing in the real estate space is that the transaction process. Right, real estate transactions have been around for a long time. Right? The actual transaction process of how someone buys and sells real estate hasn't actually changed in the past, 100 years. Except for the way that you're writing contracts now, and you're submitting them. You don't drive them over places. You don't need wet signatures.
Buyer and seller agree to a price.
Yeah,
they agree to
use
terms,
a title company.
They sign it.
There's an insurance company. They sign it. The biggest thing that has changed, and along with buyer and seller, there's also the part of the realtor or real estate agent, right? They have always existed in that same capacity. The biggest change is how the consumers have have access to information, right?
Yeah.
So now everything is public. It used to be that the Realtor Association owned the MLS. So you would have to go to a realtor's office and they would pull out a book and you would flip through pages and say, this is what we have available. You want to go look at these houses? Can you imagine today if you had a line of people walking in this office saying, hey, let's
Chaos.
pull out the book, we'll go through it. There's like a line. No, so now what happens is people are, online on all of these other websites, Zillow's, Redfins, whatever, Realtor.com, and they call their agent and they say, hey, I just saw this property, I want to go see it. Okay. Now the challenge is, and I'm being, I don't want to make anyone mad. Get it in there. Is that the realtors have been compensated the same way the whole time, but where their role has actually changed in what they need to be doing. And part of that is because, just with anything, it's a huge industry. There's a lot of money involved, and people want to maintain certain things. And so I think the what consumers want is the ability, and I don't know if this will ever happen, but they want the ability to be able to have a non-human related transaction. I think that. Just like
you guys keep talking. I'm going to plug in my laptop because that's how we roll.
Right.
You and I have had this conversation, and I know you're very involved on the legislation side and all that stuff. Yeah. So it's like a point of it's slightly a point of contention. But the way that consumerism works, and not to relate this directly, but if you look at what happened with travel agents, before airplane pricing was public and you could buy it online, you had to buy something through a travel agent.
Yep, that was it.
And then as soon as all that, the airlines started selling direct, or Kayak and all these other websites came out, the role of the travel agent changed into becoming more of a specialized...
Not sure what he's doing back here.
Yeah, what's going on right there?
Hey, just trying to get this plug handled. Y'all keep going.
Yeah, it became like a specialized product. Like there still are travel agents, and they work with high-end luxury travel, specialty travel, maybe you're hunting, fishing, ski, whatever it is, and they still exist, but it's not... There's not thousands of travel agencies in every town, which there used to be.
That's how it was. Yeah, all over the place.
And maybe it's because they don't have the association affiliation that some of the other industries do. Or?
Yeah, I would agree.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think one thing that we've got to do is do a better job of telling our story, what we actually do in real estate. A lot of people just still think that we are here just to help them find the house. That's the smallest piece of what realtors actually do, is actually house hunting. It's not so much of what we do. It's just a process that we have to go through to get to that place. And I think the industry as a whole just does a really poor job of explaining that to a client, setting real expectations about what we're here to deliver to them. And I love that you've brought a new medium for us to use, behind the camera and through social media to tell that story. So is there a correlation to the people that tell the best story? Are they becoming some of the most productive agents that you see?
Yeah, and I think you brought up a good point. Like our whole MO with Hey Mister and our business is about telling stories. Yeah. And so we're all about helping people tell their own stories, and that's super important to us. And I think you brought up the good thing is people need to educate the public on what it is they're providing value to. And we see the most successful people aren't the people that are just cranking numbers and all they want is more and more people. It's people that are telling their story and that want to connect with people on a personal and authentic level. Because in today's world, it's true. You can either work with some sort of automated system and it doesn't really matter about the personal relationship, or you deal with someone that you like, know, and trust.
Exactly.
And everyone wants to have a guy. Like even no matter how cool Uber and software is, like everyone loves saying, I got a guy.
I got a guy.
And real estate is the best. Like you want to have a real estate guy.
So in this arena, is there anything? Do you see anything drastically changing from your perspective? Is there anything that you guys are focused on that's helping to change things, or is it just kind of you're just going with the flow and seeing where it leads? I'm hitting you with good ones right now, huh? Putting you on the spot.
I would say, look, we got Steph Shock over here. We got Piper Knoll over here. What's
good
up,
people
guys,
right
ladies?
Here. What's up?
I would say, man, it's tough. It's a challenging space because you have all of these different ideas coming into play right now where some people are trying to really do this like robo brokerage. Yeah. I think the most important thing and as a business owner is really building these networks of people. Right. And it sounds cheesy, and I know everyone said that before, but you want a guy, people want to work with someone or a brand that they like, know, and trust. So I think the thing that people are changing is being authentic and telling stories. We're getting away from the reading sales scripts. The scripting thing, the cold calling thing, it
Doesn't
sucks.
work.
It doesn't work. We now have a lot of phones, as soon as it says scam likely. When I get a phone call from someone trying to sell me something, it says scam likely. And unfortunately, a lot of these cold call real estate companies, they're getting stuck in there.
Yeah.
And so it's just proving that we're wisening up and we need to be connecting with people on an authentic level.
Yeah.
And one thing that actually internally that we are trying to work on with people is with social media is bringing the social back into social media, and
That's
really
awesome.
keeping it more of a conversation piece and making it more. People are very careful about speaking their opinion and being honest in this space because they're worried that it's going to offend people. But I think there's a value into being honest and to being authentic and saying what's
100%
important to
agree.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, look at who's back.
See how? Oh shoot! What's
Yeah.
up? Josh just rolled back up in here. Hey guys, no, but I think that authentic piece is huge, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you just see too much where people are playing both sides of the fence.
Right.
They never take a stance, and then so it just doesn't get to where it needs to be, right? The point never gets driven in. So I love the fact that just being authentic, be who you are, take that stance, and just roll with it.
Yeah, and you won't always please everyone, and I think that's
Yeah.
okay. And
quite okay,
people
yeah.
try and you please everybody in today's world, and it doesn't work out for your benefit. So I think a cool thing about video, out of all the mediums, it's the only medium where there's no room for interpretation on what
Right.
someone's emotion or what they're saying.
Yeah.
If you read an email, I'm like, are they mad at me?
Yeah.
Are they yelling at me? And they're like, oh no, I just accidentally did
Yeah.
caps lock, or they're just in a hurry, or whatever it is. But with video, you can actually see that emotion, or even a photo. You can be like, wonder what that expression is, like a capture a moment in time.
I've even started like in my text messages, brought a lot of video in, right? So
Yeah.
I'm doing a lot of text video because it's that more authentic. They can see if I'm excited, they can see that excitement there, right? Or
Right.
if my daughter ticked me off because she did something wrong, right? I'd be like, girl, what's up?
Yeah.
So it's I think you just see it so clearly through that channel, so clearly.
Yep.
So here's what I would say is if anybody's out there and wondering how they can get this into their business or make this part of what they do, even on a small starting scale, is get a professional to help you. Get some outside help, just some perspective, that coaching, that accountability to actually stay with it, that you got this, that motivation kind of thing. And then somebody is going to help push it out in the right places. It's one thing to do video. It's another to put it in the right places
100%.
at the right
Yep.
times and then understand who you're talking to. And one thing that you guys always done is provide analytics about who we're talking to and who actually is engaging in it. So I'm fascinated by this. I would love to hear like some of the funny stuff that you've seen or witnessed where you're just like, oh my goodness, did this really just happen? Through all your years of doing this kind of stuff. Because we got to feel that we're human, right? We make errors, we make mistakes. But is there anything funny that you're just like, oh my gosh, this was ridiculous?
Trying to think
right?
of some funny stuff that's appropriate.
You don't have to share names.
The
It's
funny
good.
thing is too is like a lot of stuff I might find funny, and the person who did it might not find funny.
Oh, that's probably most of the time, right?
That's most of the time.
Yeah.
Man, I can't really think of anything to come to the top of my head. I might have to come back to that.
That's
but,
okay. That's
I
all
mean,
right.
there's been when I used to work in the ski industry, we did live broadcasts, so live webcasts from like remote locations, and there would be stuff where I don't know, middle of interview, kind of stuff you see like on TV where you think a microphone is off and it's on the person.
Oh yeah, I
It's
love
going
those.
live
Yeah,
broadcast.
love those. Yeah.
Or camera falls or stuff like that.
All right.
I'm trying to think like in the real estate video stuff.
Is there any mistakes that people are making that you see?
Oh my gosh, yeah, so many.
Like, what do those look like? If you could tell people, like,
I mean,
stop
the biggest
doing
thing,
this.
I tell people all the time, I stop them while they're talking, and you've seen me do that.
You've done it to me.
I do it all the time where people are just getting too salesy.
Yeah.
And no one trusts a salesman anymore.
Right.
It's the death of a salesman. Like nobody trusts salespeople. So that's one thing I stop people very hard on is like if they're trying to sell too hard, it just comes off as infomercially.
Yeah.
And not awesome, not trustworthy.
Well, and it puts them in like a box, man, of who they are and what they do, right? When they do that, so it's like, the more you're just authentic and you're just open, it's just, I mean, you can do so much more. I mean, yeah, I do mortgages, but there's so much other stuff I like to do, and if people understand who I am as a person, I might be able to be successful there. When you start getting salesy and pitchy, and they're like, Josh, just go back to your used car sales days or something. I don't know.
exactly.
Right.
Yeah, we've done, man, I'm trying to think. There's been so many. I think last year we did almost 500 some videos.
Wow.
And I'm trying to think, like, there's been so much weird stuff that
What you need to start
deal
doing
with.
is, since you have cameras rolling, is just have a blooper film, man.
That's
And
what
just
I'm
have
saying.
it
We
set
have
up.
We have a lot.
We have so much footage of like mess ups.
Who
and stuff
doesn't like
that.
to see that?
I know, it just takes so much time to edit that stuff together, going through it. It's a lot. And yeah, we have a lot of people that just like, you ask them questions like, okay, like say your name, who are you? And they like get halfway through their name, like, fuck, I can't do this. They get all frustrated in their face and stuff like that. And you're like, it's okay, like, it's just
Calm
me
down.
and you,
That's
a lot
what
of
Mike
stuff
looks at his
that.
like video guys like, it's gonna be a long damn
Yeah.
day, dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Buckle up.
Yeah, I mean, oh man. Yeah,
That's funny.
something will come to mind.
No, that's good. And we can.
Actually, I do have a funny story.
Okay.
This is a funny one. Maybe I've told you this, the drone story. So we do fly drones legally, and they're cool.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say that. One time I was in a meeting with a client, and I get a phone call from my unnamed drone operator at the time. And he says, yeah, I didn't answer because I was in the meeting, didn't want to be rude, always respect the client. And then I get another call from him. I don't answer. Then I get a text message saying, call me, it's an emergency.
Oh,
and I'm
no.
like, oh, man.
All right.
I don't know what just happened. I know he was flying a drone at a nice property today. This could go a lot of different ways. And then he calls me, and I tell the client, like, sorry, I got to take this call. I give him a buzz, and he's like, Mike, so I was flying a drone over this property. It was in some golf course community. I can't remember what it was. Beautiful home,
Okay.
$5 million home or something like that, with it right on the 9th hole or something like
Yeah.
that.
Right.
And he's like, flying the drone, and a heron grabbed the drone out of the sky
Oh.
and dropped it in the middle of the lake. I'm like, in the pond, like a golf course pond.
Right.
Oh, no.
I'm like, all right, that's a bummer. Can you see the drone? And he's like, no. I'm like, how deep do you think the water is? And then he says, I'm not sure. And I'm like, all right, well, just hang tight. I'm going to head over there and we'll see. I'm like, tell the homeowners what's going
Right.
on. I'll be over there shortly. So I get over there, drive over there, and I'm looking in the water. I'm like, man, that looks kind of deep. I'm like, you should go ask the maintenance guys if they have waders or like something.
Right.
I told him, like, I'll bring my snorkel.
Yeah,
Like, I'll bring a pair of
exactly.
goggles and snorkel. And get over there, and I'm looking. I'm like, I don't really know what our options are. I'm like, you know what? I brought a pair of goggles for him.
Yeah.
And I handed it to him, and I'm like, you're going swimming. Like, we're going to go get this drone. And it had like probably 4 or 5 other properties from that morning.
Oh, my God.
Long story short, we spent about 45 minutes swimming in a golf course pond. The golf course was closed that day for maintenance day. And if you've ever been to
Oh,
a
man,
closed
yeah.
golf course on maintenance day, there's guys in hazmat suits walking around spraying some sort of
Right.
very non-friendly chemicals
Yeah.
to make sure that nothing grows ever. And they're like, we're in our underwear, or my guy is staying there in his underwear with goggles, like swimming goggles on. And we're literally swimming. He's like swimming in this pond. And there's guys with hazmat suits. It looked like a scene out of like E.T. or something.
Right.
You know, when the guys come. And he's like, I can't find it. And he's like, oh, white plastic, because it was a white Phantom drone.
Right.
Of course, there's thousands of golf balls in there. Okay?
Oh yeah.
All white plastic. So it's not easy to see. It's too deep to stand in there. And probably about an hour in, there's a short little fella who was working maintenance, comes over with his golf cart.
His
and
name
he's
is
like-
Josh Williams.
His name is not Josh Williams. And he says in Spanish to me, he's like, you know, I can just give you some golf balls, because he thought we were like
Swimming for golf balls.
And I looked at him. I didn't know how to say no. We're searching for a drone.
Right.
And then he's like, I was like, okay. I just took it. I was like, okay, that's fine.
Right.
Thank you. You know, I
Yeah,
said thank
yeah,
you, and he
yeah,
went
yeah.
away. Then I was so frustrated with my guy's search technique, his search grid that he was operating here. I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm getting in the water too. So I get down in my underwear. I'm swimming around here. I'm in there for about half an hour, and I'm like, you know what? It's gone. We lost the drone. It's too deep. The water, it's like murky. I called my friend who's a scuba dive filmer, and he was going to come the next day all excited. And he's like, yeah, I'll bring my lights, the tank, everything. We'll get this. And then I'm like, you know what? Wouldn't that just be so annoying if it was like sitting in the bushes on the side of the pond or something like that? And he's like, yeah, really. And he's like, I see his jaw drop. It's hanging in the tree right above
Oh, my God.
right over the lake. It's like this huge willow.
Stop it.
Yeah,
Oh
just hanging
my
over there.
gosh.
And so apparently, after reviewing the footage, there was no bird. He just flew it backwards into a tree. And then like a bird got scared and flew out of the water, and that caused a splash. So we put 2 and 2 together, and that's what he automatically jumped to that conclusion.
Oh, jeez.
We had to climb this tree, and it was a tree that had some sort of disease where it has like spikes all sticking out of it everywhere. Maybe you guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And it was the hardest tree ever to climb. We got super scratched up getting it. Finally, we got it. The drone survived. The moral of the story is don't ever jump to conclusion and outrule any possibility. Right? Always look at all your possibilities.
Oh my
This is
gosh!
amazing.
Just look up. Just look up.
There it is.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
So if we edit a nice together version of this video, I can put in the nice photos I have of us just standing there in our underwear and this.
We have
and the
to do
homeowners were watching the whole time.
Oh.
That was the best part too.
And then you see it in the tree, and they're like,
I bet
these idiots.
were they inside or were they with you guys?
No, they were like inside, and then there's a huge balcony overlooking the.
I bet they
pond.
just lost their crap, dude.
I don't think we told them where it was at the end. I think we got it and we left with our heads.
Oh,
turned.
love
So
it.
anyways,
so
yeah.
great.
That was kind of a funny story.
That's a
my
great
God.
story. That is a great story, and the fact that his mind just took it there,
Yeah,
and
I
it was
believed
not
them,
there,
You know what I mean?
right?
So that's one of those stories. Like it's easy to believe things that you just manifest and
Yeah.
you come together. So
I love it.
But apparently he still got hair. I still have hair, and we swam in that thing, and they were like spraying all kinds of weird chemicals.
You're all
on
good.
us, so
You're good.
it's all good.
Oh my God.
Had a baby since then.
You had a
too,
baby, and
so,
she
yeah.
didn't come out with 7 legs,
Yeah.
so you're
So
good.
So we're
let's-
good.
I want to talk about parenthood for you.
Yeah.
This is new to you. You've got
New to
a
me.
new little one, Lily, and cute as can be, and you and Estelle are new to the parenting thing. How's it
Yeah.
going? Is there anything that's you've learned from this that you?
Yeah, I've learned that sleep deprivation is a real problem. You think beforehand, you're like, oh yeah, I'll be tired. You're like, I partied and hung out
Yeah,
late.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I got this, no big deal.
It's
But
a whole
it's intense,
Yeah.
super intense. When you go on for months of like not sleeping more than 3 or 4 hours.
I
consistently.
say yeah, but like I know that 99% of the time it was my wife that got up.
Yeah.
The one time
Me
I
too.
got up,
Thank you, Estelle.
I gave my wife, I was giving my daughter a bottle, and my wife heard the thump.
Yeah.
And she came running out, and I had fallen asleep on the couch, and my daughter had fallen off my lap onto the floor.
Oh, no.
And we were both still sleeping. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was my.
She came to check on you, make sure you're
yeah.
okay.
So my wife was like, "Yeah, not again, not again."
What are you
Yeah.
doing over there, man?
I fell asleep, dude.
Come
you know?
on, man.
Hey,
It's hard. It's tiring.
I was delivering pizzas at the time. That was my career. It was a good one.
Yeah.
I got home at 2 a.m. and feeding my daughter. I went out cold.
I'm out.
You know,
happens.
and she didn't get knocked out. She just fell asleep on the floor because I dropped her. It was good.
Oh,
Yeah.
my
I love
God.
you, Brooke. I'm sorry if that messed anything up in your head,
Oh.
but
You're still good.
She's okay.
yeah.
You're
She's
okay.
okay.
So it's hard, right? I mean,
Yeah, it is.
It's a sleep thing, but it's been awesome. I mean, it's a lot. It's tiring. It's hard. We don't have family here really, so that's a challenge, I would say. But no, it's been awesome. It's beautiful and
Lean on your tribe, man. We
Yeah.
love that little girl. So
Yeah.
lean on people around you to get some rest.
yeah,
We'll
but
take
it's
her for
cool.
a
I
few
mean, it's
hours.
really cool to see babies like grow up and evolve.
Yeah.
I mean, she's only 9 months, so she hasn't grown up, insane amount. But just little things,
Yeah, every
it's
day.
amazing just to experience someone going from being like a blob and not being able to move from here to there
Right.
to being able to crawl and get places on their own.
Oh yeah,
It's really
amazing.
cool.
It's fun
Yeah,
to watch.
It really is. It's awesome.
You got some fun ahead of you, my friend.
I know. I'm excited.
So I just love your story. I love everything you do. You've been a great partner for us. You've taken our business and life to a new level and a new awakening, I think. And that is just that we've got to tell our story. It's worth telling, and we got to do it in different ways than we have. And I'm just so tickled that we know you and we've gone through this. Part of our show, we do have some fun here.
Cool.
So we have what we call it's our fat kid moment of the week, right? So Josh and I obviously struggle, me more obvious, struggle with snacks and food and all this stuff, but we
That's
like
why
to
I'm so
keep
skinny,
it
'cause
real.
they're eating everything.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
Yeah.
There's nothing to
I
eat
know.
now. But
They
we
promised me lunch. I don't know where it is.
We ate it.
it's sitting out on the side. We're all just slobbering, But we share our story with the world and whoever wants to hear it. But we struggle and we make fun of ourselves, and so we want to share that with you guys. So you got to participate, which I know
Yeah.
you don't have too many fat kid moments. You got something good?
Oh well, we got some Entenmann donuts. Anybody ever have those? The
Oh, yeah, I
chocolate
love
white
Entenmann
filling.
donuts
Oh
with their
man,
crumbs and those are the best.
Good.
Yeah.
So good. So they had a 2-for-1 sale going on. How do you pass up 2-for-1 when you get
can't.
those,
Yeah.
right?
It's your duty.
It is my duty, and it was also my duty to eat half of that box. I don't know what was going on.
That's a quarter of what you bought. So that's not
That
so
was
bad.
good. Yeah, so that was good. You know, and it's one of those things where you go and you get one, you're like, yeah, that did it, but it wasn't like it was okay. I mean, I think I need another one right now, and so I think I'm gonna pour myself a little more milk and and just throw it down. So that was my problem this week, man. We got those donuts. I was trying to get things right because we bought that Peloton bike last week, which I've been getting on a little bit, right, and getting after it, and then it doesn't work very well. Like my weight hasn't moved because when you eat 2 donuts when you should not have any, and then the next morning you eat another 2, so now you've eaten half the sleeve, you get those issues. So there's my fat kid moment of the week. Half a sleeve of Entenmann donuts. Freaking things are delicious. I hate them. Damn it. Do you ever want to get some, my happy spot, grab me some of those.
Are they the box or like the sleeve?
No, it was a box. When I say sleeve, it's just, the whole bottom half or maybe the whole top half.
Because like they have the sleeves of the powdered buns.
I know.
Yeah, the small ones.
Try to stay away from those two.
Actually what you should check out, there was a, John Belushi did on Saturday Night Live, it was the Donuts of Champions.
Yeah.
Little chocolate donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's like running around the track.
Exactly, yeah. And that's how he got in the Olympics, was eating little chocolate donuts.
Well, now I got something to try this next week. I'll
Exactly,
put it on
little
the
chocolate donuts.
That's
on the
right, with my
Peloton.
chocolate
That could
donuts.
be
Chocolate
anything.
all over the
And
bike.
it has on the bars, you just stick the donut on each
yeah.
one, and you do a whole, I ate a whole
yeah.
sleeve of bars on this side and this side.
It's freaking perfect.
Yeah.
The little cup holder holding my milk to wash it
It's
down.
a
with.
donut
exactly.
holder.
Money.
Man,
Let's
I'm
go.
Most people have protein in there. No, we put our donuts in there.
That's right.
Oh my god.
What's yours?
So mine is I've been doing pretty good, honestly. Just feeling pretty good. Eating great during the day, breakfast, the whole thing. But we discovered, so we do, the girls in our house eat cereal.
I love cereal.
I don't eat a lot of cereal.
At all times.
I used to not eat a lot of cereal, but we discovered they brought home this new cereal, Cinnamon Toast Crunch Churros.
Oh.
They are crispy. They are, churros.
Look, you can't even talk about it. You're so
They're
into it.
cinnamon
little-
toast crunch or little
Yeah,
churros?
they're little churros, but it's cinnamon toast.
Yeah,
Put
because they
these
say
out.
cinnamon toast crunch tastes like a churro.
Oh, and they're little
tubes.
So I've
Okay.
had a couple of nights. That late night
Handfuls, or are you doing a bowl of
I mean,
cereal?
do you choose? I mean, you warm up with a handful, right, to get the crunch, and then you go to, the,
you go
bowl,
to the bowl.
and then you put some milk
Wait,
in
regular
'em.
milk?
Yeah, you gotta go regular.
Whole
1%,
milk.
1%. You gotta
1%.
go one.
Well, that's
Never-
pretty
I
good. At
don't
least
do
you're not going like
1%.
vitamin D or something.
Yeah, I
That's
can't go
good.
the full where it's
Right.
just like gravy pouring out of there. But yeah, you throw that in there, so you get a little, the combo at the beginning. You're getting that crunch just out of the hand, and then you come back with the soft. It's all
Does it get soggy?
not bad.
Because I would say cinnamon toast crunch has like a good, not a fast sog factor.
Right, it's a slow
like
sog.
life. You
Yeah,
ever
yeah,
have
yeah.
life?
Yeah.
Life goes soggy so fast.
like-
You have
it's
to
like
almost
that.
add milk as you're eating it.
Right.
because
You
This
it's-
is
gotta-
like
that is
Christmas
a-
Vacation when
Yeah.
Clark was working on the cereal varnish. That
yeah,
keeps
yeah, exactly. It keeps the crunch longer. Yeah,
So yeah, the churros got the varnish on it.
yeah.
It's so good. So I
I love
discovered
cereal.
those, and so go get it. Report back on how it went.
So-
yeah,
So for me, when I'll be honest, I feel like I didn't eat a ton this week, but my wife cooks pretty much every day, which is awesome.
yep.
And when she's not around, I pretty much survive on things like cereal. So
So you made
like
that.
this weekend, probably gonna be
Like he sent his wife off this weekend, so he knows he's getting at it this week.
Yeah.
Your fat kid mom was coming up.
it's coming
Like,
up.
you're
I do
like, can I get
puffins
on the
though,
menu?
puffins with almond milk.
Puffin, they throws the almond milk in there. Just hey, it's good. We're good.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do I don't do too much dairy, like milk with
Yeah.
cereal.
Yeah.
I do dairy, but
Yeah.
milk and cereal sometimes for me it's not the best.
So you're not an official fat kid.
No, I'll be honest.
You know
I'm
what's
not.
the problem is we haven't had a lot of fat kids on here lately,
Yeah.
so we're gonna have to go find a big one.
Get some
More
fat
of like a
kids,
therapy,
right?
You guys are just talking your own
We
problems.
need we just cut Mike out. Hey, it's big in time.
Yeah.
Big in time. Here we go.
Therapy, Laura.
That's right.
Man, yeah. I've gone down the. I ate a bunch of Numinos the other day.
Get out of here, man. You're just,
And we're
it's
done.
like I ate a bag
I
of
ate
kale
half a
chips.
banana.
Like, come on, man. This. It's not fat kid. That's just survival.
See, I might eat half a banana, but it's because I'm dipping it in chocolate or something, right? You know, there's the. Yeah.
Oh, I did. All right. I'm a fess up. So I did have a granola bar the other day, and I discovered Nutella. I never really had Nutella.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
granola
it's
bars
good.
dipped in Nutella.
Oh, dipped
Yeah.
or scooped? Like, man, I was
Hey,
like,
scoop.
whoom, and just to the head, just
Right.
that Nutella. I'm like,
Okay.
get this out of my house.
The other night I had 3 ice cream sandwiches from Sweet Cow delivered to my house, and it's only like 3 blocks away. So
There's
That's
that fat
good,
kid
right?
moment right
I was like,
there.
I can't walk down there.
Right. Hook
But
it
how
up.
long did
Ice
they?
cream
Are they
delivered.
still in the house?
No, they're gone.
They're
No,
gone.
we-
Okay, so you're fat kid.
It was just me and my
All right.
sister, and we ate them. Yeah.
We got him. We
Oh,
got
there
him.
we go. I knew if we dig deep enough, we could get
They're
something
in
out of
there,
there,
yeah.
right?
Well, thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah, absolutely,
Making us
man.
feel
Fat
super
kid stuff,
fat.
yeah.
But tell us about your company, where people can find you, what you're doing, any of that stuff that we need to know.
Yeah, so you can find us heymrmedia.com. You can check us out on Instagram, Facebook. You can check out our Vimeo channel to see a lot of the videos that we do that are pretty sweet. We do have some stuff on YouTube as well. That's pretty much it. That's the best
Yeah.
place to find us. We're downtown Denver. We have an office down there. So anytime you want to come by, we got beer on tap and kombucha for those who don't drink. So
Churro cereal.
we don't have churro cereal, but
Yet.
I would like to find someone who makes fresh churros and brings them to us. 'Cause that would be
There you
nice.
go. There you
And
go.
you know,
I
big
bet Josh has a
horchata
guy.
fan.
Yeah, there you go.
You know, and when you drink like cinnamon toast crunch, the milk at the bottom, it's like
it's
horchata.
like a horchata.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I bet Josh has a churro guy.
You have a churro guy?
You know,
I got it.
But I would think
I get it.
use horchata instead of milk with a regular cereal. Then you're getting like cinnamon toast.
Now you sparked some
Yeah,
interest. Now you're in the fat kid
like-
club, baby. This is
just
good.
regular. Yeah,
I love it.
cornflakes.
All right, social media, video,
Web
marketing, web design, anything that you guys need, this is the place to go.
Yep.
Tremendous success, proven track record, lots of credibility, lots of testimonials from great people out there. But my friend, it's been an absolute pleasure watching you grow into this. You're having an effect on the market. You're doing good things. You're changing things, and it's amazing to watch. And I know I always would bet on you. You always find a way to make things work and to be on that next level. I'm just
Thank you.
I'm glad to know you and be a part of this. And thanks for coming on today.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's been awesome getting to know you and Josh, knowing you now.
Right.
But,
Yeah, we're
it's
now
been-
an hour into it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's been a long relationship, but you know, it's been fun, and I appreciate everything that you and your team and your family has done for
Yeah.
us. So
Yeah.
it's been great.
Much love.
Love it, man. Thank you.
yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you guys.
All right, let's roll up and out of here.
All right.
He's going skiing.
Yeah,
gotta
he's got-
get out
he's
of there.
got
See him
skiing
itching.
going
He's
on.
like,
He's
he's
get
starting
it
to
done.
bounce. Let's get out of
All right,
here.
hey guys, have a great week. Nothing but love for you. Plug in next week. We'll be back on. Who we got next week?
I don't know. Hopefully, a fully charged laptop. At
That
some
would help.
point.
So all those that were watching on my laptop, I'm sorry that thing crashed, but that's because we're gonna have Hey Mr.
Yeah, stay
Media
tuned.
start
We're
working
going to
that
be
stuff.
watching these everywhere.
That's right.
Listening.
That's
So.
right.
Let's
so
find out who is next week. Is it Todd?
who got? It is Todd and Arlinger next week. That's who we
Todd and
got.
Arlinger
Yeah.
next week. So,
Well, I could say first off, Todd and I have scored the same amount of NFL touchdowns. So I feel good about that. It's all
Following up
you guys are
Reggie.
winning us.
Right,
So,
right.
Yeah. So we'll have Todd on. He's the owner and CEO of Madison and Company, where we film from every week.
Yep.
So thanks, Madison, for letting us do this. But he's got some interesting stuff. That guy is foot on the gas pedal 100% of the time, does not let up. It's a lot of fun to be a part of. So hopefully he talks fast. And,
Except when his kids are in the car, he drives safe.
yeah, he drives safe then.
Yeah,
Other
yeah.
than that, it's go time. So
Love it.
Mike,
All right, well,
thanks for
plug
being here,
in.
homie.
Love you
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
Have a good one.
We'll talk to you soon, friends. Look at us getting things done.
There you go.
Have a good week. We'll see you soon.